Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Lolita tips for new Lolitas. I'm really excited about today's video because I finally feel like this is a subject that I could say I am definitely very experienced with. So I wanted to talk a little bit about coming up with coordinates, as it's something you guys have asked me to make a video about before, as in really how to put together a coordinate, whether that be a casual coordinate or a more basic coordinate, and having to do with specifically black colorways. Now you guys know, if you've watched my videos for a while, that the black colorway is my absolute favorite in Lolita, whether it be Sweet Lolita or Gothic Lolita. I really like black colorways, but I especially adore them in Sweet. Now black in Sweet is not totally unpopular, but it's definitely not quite as popular as your typical pink colorways. A lot of people really like Sax. Yellow is also quite popular. Very vibrant, bright colorways are typically what you see in Lolita fashion, and I noticed that a lot of people tend to be scared to tackle the black colorway, especially in Sweet. And especially for newer Lolitas, a lot of them feel as though, coordinating in pink is generally a lot easier. It's easier to pick accessories. It's a little bit, harder to quote-unquote get wrong, as opposed to the black colorway. And the reason for that is, of course, because a lot of people, when they're not used to coordinating in black, they tend to not really know how much color can they add. Do they have to do only black accessories? Do they only have to can they only use a couple of other colors like pinks and blues? And I definitely wanted to address that in a video today. Originally this video was going to be tackling how I put together a coordinate, meaning how do I pick my accessories, how do I pick the colors that I'm going to be using, etc, etc. And while I was working on that and recording the footage, I realized that almost all of the coordinates I picked were completely black colorways, because of course that's what I have the most of. And I kind of reworked the video and restructured it to, instead of just being how I put together a casual coordinate, an OTT coordinate, and etc., I wanted to do how I come up with a casual, OTT, regular coordinate, etc. for black colorways. This way, if you are a new Lolita and you are interested in coordinating in black as a main piece for the majority of your wardrobe, you can know how to come up with different sort of colorways and combinations that can be used for something that's a little bit more casual and something that is a little bit more accessory driven. So with that out of the way, I'm going to give the basic gist of what the video is going to cover, and then we're going to go right into the coordinates. So for starters, how do I personally put together a coordinate is a question that I have been asked a couple of times, and it's something that I like to watch from other Lolitas as well. Especially when you're a new Lolita, it can definitely give you a ton of ideas for how to build your wardrobe. So the way I build my coordinate is honestly very straightforward, and you probably have picked up on it, and I probably have mentioned it a couple of times before. The way I put together my coordinate is I first start with my main piece. So this is the main dress that I'm going to be wearing, whether it's a dress, whether it's a skirt. It is the main article of clothing that the whole coordinate is based off of. So let's say, of course, for this example, our main piece is going to be black. So if the main piece is going to be black, say that this is a JSK or an OP, that means that I personally am going to make sure that I encompass black in two other aspects to sort of make the whole coordinate sort of fit together well. For me, this means that I want my headwear to also be black, and it means that I want my footwear to also be black. So if you break down a coordinate, it's generally in several pieces. You start at the top to the bottom. It's going to be your headwear, your blouse if applicable, your main piece, your socks, and your footwear. And generally you also will consider a purse. So for me, I like to split these up, sort of going from the top to the bottom. I like to have black, accent color, black, accent color, black, or vice versa. If I'm using the accent color as the main piece, for example, if I have a main piece that's say pink or yellow or another color that's besides black, I would want that to be, so pink as the main piece, then I want my headwear to also be pink, and I would want my footwear to also be pink. So when it comes to the black, you may say, okay, so now I need to figure out how to do that with a black colorway. So we want to have our accent color, let's just say it's Sax in this case. I want to have a black headwear, a Sax blouse, the black main piece, Sax socks or OTKs, and black footwear, shoes, heels, however you want to do it. And the purse and other accessories can typically be either the accent color or black, just depending on how much you think is overdoing it or not overdoing it. So for example, in some instances I may want a black purse, and in some instances I may want a purse of the accent color, like pink, blue, etc. And other things you may want to consider are, am I doing multiple accent colors? How exactly am I choosing the accent colors? For me personally, it's quite easy. The accent color is always going to be a color that is accented in the main piece itself. So if I'm using a black colorway and there are accent colors like pink, blue, yellow, etc., I'm going to want to either pick one of them or multiple of them and just want to make sure I have a good balance in my accessories. So as I mentioned previously, I'm going to be doing several coordinates in this video, and I focused them all into different categories so that you can have a wide variety of options to choose from when helping come up with coordinates of your own. I'm going to start out with a casual coordinate, a very basic coordinate, something that you can just wear when you're going out for a short time and you don't want to be clustered up with a bunch of accessories. So we're going to start with a casual coordinate. Then we're going to move into another casual coordinate, but a bit of a different type of color combination that you might not see with the black colorway very often. I'm coordinating black with chocolate. Then we're going to move on to a standard coordinate, nothing that is too out there, but definitely having a bit more accessories than you would for a casual look. Then I'm going to go with a more OTT black color combination using black, purple, and yellow. So 3 different colors that you may not expect to work well together, but I think I pulled it off nicely and I'm excited to show it to you guys. And finally, I wanted to have a coordinate using an OP in case you're not using a JSK and a blouse. You can still try to balance the colors without having to rely on the blouse. So those are going to be the 5 coordinates that we look at today, and we're going to start reviewing them right now. So for the first coordinate, I want to show a coordinate that is kindly mostly based on the black color and just throwing a little bit of the accent colors in just a bit, not so much with a full alternative color like the other coordinates are going to show. So for a casual coordinate like this, I'm using Sweetie Chandelier. She really needs no introduction. You guys are already familiar with her. She has a ton of accent colors in her as well, as you can see here on the matching cutso, which I'm of course wearing with it. And those accent colors are primarily pink and this minty Saxes color. So I really want to try to bring those in, but I still want the coordinating pieces themselves to primarily be black. So instead of going with, say, a Sax or a pink OTK, I decided to go for a black colorway, but I wanted to make sure that they, of course, have the pink and Sax colors featured in them. So I chose these Roji OTKs with a little bit of cross theme, and they also have a melting, sweet sort of vibe. So it also matches with the Sweetie Chandelier theme as well, while also having those accent colors on the primarily black color. Again, you could go for a pink or a Sax OTK here, but for the casual coordinate, I really wanted us to just stick with the black. Same can be seen for the other accessories here. I've got a set of bear ears that are primarily black, and I've got the unicorn macaron dessert station head bow. And again, I have chosen them to be in the black colorway, while they also have many accented pink details, as well as Sax details on them. And to round it all off, I'm going to be wearing a pair of black chunky heels to finish off the look. Now, I know I said I wanted to go primarily with the black, but I had to just bring in a pop of pink for the purse because I didn't want it to be too black, and I thought it would make a nice little, we do a pop of a certain color at a certain point. Here is a full look at the entire coordinate. So here's our casual coordinate. Again, we were primarily focusing on keeping this one mostly black, but bringing out a ton of accent colors in the accessories. So we can see that in the head bow and bear ears here. The wig was kind of chosen a little bit at random. It's the only wig I have that has both pink and blue in it, but it's not really the correct shade of blue, unfortunately. Needless to say, the Sax and the pink in the skirt do match really nicely with the OTKs. If you wanted to make this look a little bit more casual, you could probably remove the bear ears. Otherwise, I really like this one. So next I wanted to show off black and chocolate. So this is probably something that you don't see particularly often. Generally when you think of chocolate coordinates, it's generally going to be more on your pinks, more on your mints, and more overall just brown. But coordinating that with black I can understand might be a little bit intimidating, so I have gotten my Mocha chocolate salopette to kind of show off how you can make that work in a way that is still colorful and fun. So of course the salopette in itself is primarily black, but you can see a ton of brown, you can see a ton of pink, and again a little bit of a mint, like a little bit of a muted mint color as well. And there's a ton of gold. So there's a lot of colors that you can work with to still bring out this coordinate to the fullest. So here we have got the matching head bow. Of course the matching head bow is going to be primarily, it's matching perfectly, so there's nothing really to worry about with that. It's already going to match very nicely. We've gotten our black heels. Again, we are sticking with the black in that regard. So those are our black pieces, the headwear, the shoes, and the main piece itself. So again, our black pieces are going to be the main piece, the shoes, and our headwear. So in our alternative color, we're going to be trying to coordinate it with the chocolate. So I've got a bit of a off-white blouse here with brown fluffy sleeve tips, as well as a little bit of brown at the top of the turtleneck. And so that's really to bring out the brown, more chocolatey look of it, and it also brings it out from being super dark toned. It's now got a little bit of a brightness to it with this, again, off-white color, so that can bring some brightness to the coordinate. And also we have some chocolate themed OTKs. So these chocolate themed OTKs are really nice. They're from Yukina's box, and they also have pink in them. And so that can again help bring out a little bit of a brighter color instead of just focusing totally on black. Now we've got some pink and chocolate in there. And so now we overall have like a theme of pink, chocolate, and black all put together. Hence why I once again have gotten the pink first, and I have a small chocolate accessory as well. Here's a full look at the full coordinate. Here is the chocolate coordinate. So as you can see, that blouse really does bring out a brightness in it that otherwise wouldn't be seen in the dress itself. And it can make your black coordinates be a little bit less like dissolving. Like it feels like it sucks you up. So having a bright blouse can really help that out. Now, unfortunately, the shade is not quite exactly the same as the socks, so they do kind of mismatch a little bit, but overall it does maintain the same colors that we were focusing on. Not the best of the coordinates, but I still think it came out nicely. So for the next coordinate, this is going to be something that is a little bit standard, so not too over the top, but also not as simplified as the previous coordinates. We are doing Candy Sprinkle. You guys know Candy Sprinkle is one of my favorite dresses from Angelic Pretty. I just love how much is going on. I love the carousel theme. I love how many different colors are in this dress. There's mint, there's purple, there's yellow, there's pink. Of course, there's black. There's also some white. There's just so many colors going on in here, and of course, you can pick any number of them to coordinate with when you're coming up with your black themed coordinates. So again, because our main piece is black, we're also going to want our headwear and footwear to be black. So that is what we're going to be seeing in a second, but I did want to just show off all of the details for this dress in its colorway so that you can just realize that there are so many colors that you can make use of with black colorways. You don't have to be intimidated. There's so many colors that you can use, right? So what I'm going to be using is a ton of colors. I'm going with my Lolita and Lolitas blouse here. It has purple, it has pink, it has yellow, it has sax blue. It's so bright and colorful. It's one of my favorite blouses, and I don't get to wear it too often. So I'm really excited to use it with this coordinate, just to show just how much color you can bring with a coordinate and still have it look nice and black toned if that's what you prefer. So again, really love this blouse, love the roughly fluffy details. Here are those black shoes. Again, we want our headwear, our footwear, and our main piece to be black. So as we go over here, we're going to see that I'm using both. I'm using the black head bow, and I'm also using some pink and sax bear ears. And I've got a ton of accessories that are both pink, black, and sax. So those are the three colors that we're using. Those are the colors that I tend to use a lot in my coordinates. I really love pink and sax and black all put together. And so I decided to try to put all three of them into this one coordinate just so you guys would see how it would look. So again, in contrast to our first coordinate where we decided to stick with the black OTKs, in this one we are going full throttle into the sax. We really want to bring those, the middle, like the lower half of the coordinate out in a different color, as well as the top upper half with the blouse. Finally, I decided to get a black purse this time. I did not go with the pink one because I really thought that there's so many accessories that are bringing out the other colors. I thought it would make a lot more sense to use a black purse this time. The red roses do stand out a little bit as being a bit out of place, but hey, what are you gonna do? Here is the full look at the entire coordinate. Here we have our more standard coordinates, so very bright and colorful while having our black primarily on the headwear, the main piece, and the shoes. So everything else is super bright and colorful. I love how bright and colorful all of these accessories look. I especially love how bright and colorful the blouse is. I wish I would have added more yellow into the coordinate now that I see it. If I had a yellow purse, that would have been perfect here. Possibly could have been better if the tights had been pink instead of sax. What do you guys think? Regardless, it does help the shoes pop out against the difference in the top upper half with the blouse and the top lower half with the socks. So now we're going to go full OTT with our black coordinate, and we're going to be using Cotton Candy Shop by Angelic Pretty for that one. Now the reason I went for this dress is because there's so much purple in this one. A lot of people just don't think about black and purple as a color combination, which really saddens me, as I think it's a great color combination, and a way to fully bring out that sweet. If you are intimidated by that, I think is to also focus on the yellow. So this is going to be a black purple and yellow coordinates, something that I have been trying out a lot recently. I have made a couple of black and yellow and purple in the past. I haven't posted all of them, so you may not have seen all of them, but I've definitely also been playing a lot with purple and yellow recently, which you guys have probably noticed, and I'm so excited to bring that into black. So if you really like this dreamy yellow and purple sort of deal here, you can definitely coordinate it with black as well, and this dress is absolutely perfect for that. One of the best things when it comes to Lolita is finding a dress that just has all the right colors in it. So I am just so excited to show you the perfect cutsew to go along with it. It's another one of those VCastle turtleneck cutsews that you have been seeing throughout the day, and this one is perfect because it just so happens to have black accents already on it, on those fluffy sleeves, the bows on the side, as well as around the top of the collar. So this is basically the perfect blouse to go along with this dress. Any dress that has like some purple details in it and you really want to bring those out and it's a black main colorway, this is definitely the cutsew for you. I adore it and it's going to match perfectly. Moving on to our accessories. So for the tights, I have gotten my Lolita and Colitas Popcorn Club tights. Again, I really just want to go full throttle in that purple. So these tights are some of my favorites. I love the shade of purple on them. They're so bright, so vibrant, and there's so many other details as well. Little bears, little cupcakes, the pink, there's yellow, there's green. There's just so many colors on it, and it matches with, again, Cotton Candy Shop perfectly, not only thematically, but just color-wise. We really want to bring all of those out here, which is why for my accessories, I am throwing caution to the wind. No black to be seen, just pink, purple, and yellow. So we've got our yellow and purple accessories, as well as some yellow and pink accessories. I know I said we were primarily focusing on the purple and yellow, but you can't really ignore pink in this case, so I definitely had to throw some in there as well. And of course, we need our bag, and I had to go with the purple bag this time. Didn't want to go with the black. Again, while we primarily are focusing on the black in terms of certain aspects of the coordinate, for this one, we really want to push all of those accent colors this time. So that is why we have chosen the purple purse. And as always, we're going to be using the exact same pair of shoes, those purple chunky heels. And you guys probably already know I am already looking forward to this coordinate the most. Here's a full look at the entire coordinate. My favorite of the coordinates, the purple, yellow, and pink coordinate with the black. I definitely do think I could have chosen maybe a better wig here, but this is the only one that I have that's kind of fitting with the theme. Again, we have a ton of accessories of different colors, mostly pink, yellow, and purple. I love the shade of these purple tights. I can't get enough of them, and look at how much they make the black shoes pop. Again, this is why I like my OTKs to be a different color. It just makes everything pop. Probably my favorite of the coordinates. So for our final coordinate, while I wanted to keep this with a sweet theme, I wanted to add in something that's got a little bit of a gothic flair to it, just in case that is more what you prefer. So I've gotten Angelic Pretty's Milky Cross here, one of my favorite OPs. I really, really love this dress, because when you look up close, you can see just how many different colors are in it. It actually has a lot of pink, but also a lot of navy. So if you don't want to go for like these bright pastel colors, I decided to show off one of the dresses that, instead of being super duper sweet, it has a little bit of a darker tone to it. And so we're going to be coordinating this dress as black and navy, which is something you may see in a lot of Gothic. Now, a lot of people don't consider this to be a Gothic print just because the imagery is so cute, but you know, I still think that it will fit nicely if you want to sort of push it in that direction. So I decided to go for the navy tights. They also have some gold details, stars, moons, things that you can see in the main print to really bring out that navy color. Again, this is an OP, so there is no blouse. If it was, I would go for a navy blouse, but because of that, we want to pull out the navy in our accessories. So along with the black head bow, I have gotten a navy beret here. Now, I'm usually a little bit cautious about wearing a beret and a head bow together because sometimes they really can't sit nicely on your head together. It really depends on the head bow and if it's large, if it can be clipped to the beret, if the beret can be clipped to your head, so do keep those things in mind. And finally, we do have those same pair of black chunky heels. And last but not least, we are going to be ending it off with our more gothic looking purse in the black colorway. Here is a full look at the full coordinate. A little bit more simple, but sometimes you prefer simplicity when you're going for something that's a little bit more gothic flared. And here is our more gothic themed coordinate here with Milky Cross. So like I mentioned before, it is definitely pretty difficult to have a head bow and a beret at the same time if one of them does not clip to your head. I would probably try to keep this to photographs only instead of walking around if you don't have one of them clipped, because they were difficult to keep on my head. I wish I was in a more brightly lit room because you really can't see the nice bright navy color of the socks, but they still do look really, really nice. Overall, I really like this coordinate. So those were our 5 coordinates. Our first coordinate was primarily focusing on the black color and trying to bring out accent colors along with it. Then we had a chocolate coordinate for those of you who love sort of quirky themes, so that you could see how you could not really get lost in a bunch of blacks and browns and how you can add brighter colors in to make that look nicer. We did a more standard coordinate, which I thought really looked nice, but I kind of wish I added more colors into it. The yellow is super, super prevalent at the top, but not really so prevalent at the bottom. But again, I think that's because this room is not very brightly lit. There is definitely some yellow in the OTKs that I wish would have been picked up. If I were to do this again, I might have just gone for some yellow OTKs, and I definitely need to get my hands on the yellow purse at a certain point in time. Speaking of yellow though, the 4th coordinate I think came out the nicest. It has a bunch of colors. I think they're all evenly balanced, and I especially love how, again, I really like using a different color for my blouses and for the OTKs because they help make your headwear pop, they help make the main piece pop, and they definitely make the shoes pop. And the last coordinate, not quite so sweet, a little bit more of a gothic flair to it, and it's using a darker color with the black in terms of navy. I actually think this coordinate came out really nicely. I really think it especially came out nicely because I did not overdo it. You don't always have to go over the top with your accessories, keeping it to a very simple main piece, having an alternate color for your socks, again using the main piece color for the shoes, and a simple 1 or 2 accessories worked out perfectly. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is just how I personally put together a coordinate and how I go for color picking. Once again, this is not a standard rule and you don't have to follow it. I just personally think I have a lot of success with this in choosing my headwear, main piece, and shoes, having one color and choosing another color for the other pieces, if I'm trying to go for multiple colors, and also other ways that you can have going full black, but without getting too like absorbed in just like a super, super dark colored coordinate, such as what we did with the first one, which is more casual, having less accessories, and bringing out the accent colors in the OTKs and headwear, despite the fact that the main color was still black. And I would love to know how you guys put together your coordinates if you have a wardrobe that is a single colorway. Again, I know that black can be intimidating, especially if you're a newer Lolita and you don't really know, oh, should I get accessories that are all black? Should I get some that are a bunch of different colors? I definitely do think this video has shown that you should try to get as many other colors as possible if you want to. Now, if you don't want to and you just want to stick to black, that's perfectly fine. But this video is just to show that you don't have to do that. There's definitely plenty of room and opportunities for you to coordinate with pink, sax, with off-white, with chocolate, with navy. There's so many different colors that you can use with black. I would definitely love to in the future maybe get some more pieces and try maybe like black with mint or maybe black with red. Those seem like fun things that I could try to do in the future. So let me guys know which one of these coordinates you like the most and which ones you like the least and how you would improve upon some of them. Also, let me know, do you have a ton of different colors in your wardrobe, or do you like to go with like maybe only pink, only chocolate, only red? Let me know how you guys build your wardrobes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.